guys, it's me, Danielle, Danibuttons, and I'm here today for our, what month are we in? May, Disney Page of the Month. So I think since last June, I want to say, I don't know. I've had these books for years, but once a month I come and do a color by number page from this book series. I don't know what to call it because like a lot of the times I'll do Les Grands Classiques, but it's mostly just all the books that are this size. So we are throwing it all the way back to Tome 1 today, and I am going to speed color the black outlining, and then I will come back and color it in with you. For the black outlining, I am using my Arteza acrylic paint marker. I might be running low on my first one soon. I don't know. This has lasted a lot longer than I was expecting, but luckily I have a 12 pack, so I'll just move on to the next if we run low. But I was going to show you who we're doing, but I don't want to spoil it in case you can guess as I'm coloring, so give that a shot. Also, I picked this page because there's a few things that I'm going to change, so I thought that would be cool and useful to show you what's going on. So there we go. And here we go. So on to the time lapse. If you guessed the Queen of Hearts, you were correct. So, yes, here we go. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I will say that coloring with the paint markers takes longer than if I were to just color with regular markers, but I do really like the look of it. This paint marker has currently lasted a good long while. I'm sure I could actually count it out if I tried, but it's keeping up with the Tombos for sure. If you look really close, you can tell the streaks of how I color in. Like, so you can tell I did, and then, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it comes up on camera, so it's not a huge deal. And again, on camera, in some lighting, it looks a little bit shiny, but overall, I really like it. I don't think I am currently ready to make the jump to full acrylic, but never say never, I guess. But yes, first what I'm going to do here is something special. Okay, two things. I'm going to show you the answer key for this page. So if you don't want to see any other answers by accident, maybe look away for a minute, but I'm focusing on this page. All right, here we go. So here's our queen. Some interesting things to me. It says a D instead of a Q. So I don't really know what that's about because queen in French starts with an R. I don't know if secretly like hearts starts with a D. That doesn't make sense. But I'm going to make these Qs instead of Ds. So that's one thing. And then secondly, I think I'm going to give her a much brighter background than what she currently has. It is currently just gray. So this isn't a pretty easy color palette overall. There's only 10 colors, including the black. But we're going to switch some things up because gray seems sad. But yeah, first I'm going to do the heart, and I'm going to change the D into a Q. And I'm doing this first because obviously I'm not going to be coloring in the lines. Well, I will for the heart, but I want to make sure that I don't like forget later and just start coloring everywhere else. But yeah, even in these books you can make changes. I've said this time and time again, but in case this is your first video, in my opinion, the most important thing to get right on characters are like their skin tone. And that's the hardest thing to get right. But anything else, you can really switch it up. And that's why I'm definitely switching the background. And obviously, you can switch everything. Like, you don't have to make her be the Disney character at all anymore, if that's what you so choose. All right, how am I going to do this? I'm going to try to, like, keep the original lines as much as I can, just so that we can see, like, keep them the same size as each other. And I'm just kind of going to go around. Right, that's a Q. And then obviously it won't look as interesting once I color it in. And I'm kind of going against my own rule for the streaks for this, because I want it to be as solid as possible. Pretty good. And I'm going to flip my book to do it on the other side, just because I don't know if I can draw a Q upside down. But yeah, for this side especially, the line goes through the D, so it's also going to have to go through the Q. So let's do the heart. I wasn't going to do it this way. I was going to do it my stripey way, but oopsie doodle. Yeah, so I'm very excited. Right after I film this video, I'm going to be starting to prep my collection videos, and the first one I am doing is, of course, my Disney collection. This year, my Disney collection is going to have to be split into 2, and that's exciting. Sorry, Sam texted me. If they have my salad, I'll check after filming. He went to buy dress pants with my dad, and on the way back they might pick up dinner. So that's what that was about. But yeah, my Disney collection is going to be split into 2. So, oh boy, but the first part will be all of these color by number books, and I'm excited and nervous. And I'm nervous because these videos for how I do them are a lot of work, because I actually have a spreadsheet that I track how many pages I've done, and that's all just because I really like stats. So all right, so I did that. Now I'm gonna peek at the back because I do use this color more, so I'm just gonna keep using this color until we're done with this color. Makes sense to me. So I think those Qs came out pretty good. I mean, the hearts are the same size. This bottom Q looks a little thicker than that top Q, but I like it. And again, doing that first, now I'm not going to accidentally go over that area later. So, Q, where 3. Okay, I'm like, what color am I using? Because I just knew those were there. I didn't even look at what number they were. I'm kind of torn as, uh-oh. That was unfortunate, but luckily this is the lighter color, so I can just go over it with the darker color and that'll fix that up. But kind of torn with what I want to do for the background, because I don't want to clash, because originally I was thinking I would do a green, but that feels Christmassy. And purple, I personally purple's my favorite color, and red is my least favorite color, so I kind of hate purple and red together. I don't know why, my eye doesn't like it. I was thinking yellow, but then yellow with the crown might be too much. So maybe I'm thinking a teal, so we'll see when we get there. But, oh, I just drew on my hand. Fun times, okay. And again, I'm using my Statler dual-ended markers, if I have not yet mentioned. Can you see them? I don't know. But this is the 120 set, I think, which is nice for this purpose, because usually I can find everything I need. So I'm going to very specifically go over this area since I made that mistake, and then I'll go back to normal. So another tip with these in general, not even just these markers or anything, just with this coloring book, sometimes it's better to do a swatch against the color on a different piece of paper. So I'll keep a Post-it. I always call them, you're gonna hear this so many times in my collection video. I can never remember index card, and I call them Post-its, and I drive myself crazy. But you can keep an index card around. And see, I'll just kind of make a longer line, because it'll give you a better idea of what the color is than sometimes just comparing it right up on the color. So, because I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, when I did it small, it looked exactly the same, and now it doesn't, and then they're sad. So avoid that by just making a bigger swatch. But I don't know if I have very much to talk about. As of filming, I am 1 week away from my cruise vacation. So next week, what time is it? 6 o'clock? Right now, I'm hopefully, this time next week, going to be in a swimming pool in Tampa. Yeah, so we have our flight. The cruise actually leaves on Thursday, right? Is it Wednesday? Where am I? When am I? It's Wednesday right now. Sorry, Sam messaged again. Yes. The cruise leaves on Thursday, but we have to fly, so we're flying on Wednesday. Just that seems safe to not worry about any delays or anything. So we're staying in a hotel on Wednesday, and I am very much hoping to be able to swim. If I could, I would live underwater. So anytime I get to swim is a good time. But yeah, oh, this is looking good. We're doing good. All right. There's some, I missed some 3. I always miss something, so I try to keep all the colors out. I want to say I succeeded keeping all the colors out like half the time. I guess I get cocky sometimes or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really excited and I want to go swimming so desperately. Sometimes, I very rarely actually swim on the boat, which I don't know why, because again, if I could live underwater, I would. I think that like the process of swimming is always a lot. And by that, I mean, I love being underwater, but I hate being wet outside of water. So I kind of like, I'm done with it once I'm out. And on the boat, then you have to like shower in the tiny shower and like, I don't know, get all cleaned up for dinner. And I just always don't think I have enough time, which I understand is silly. And this is a shorter cruise, so it should be perfect length. But I have not gone on a shorter cruise in a while. And I'm like nervous that I don't remember how much time I have to do anything. But I feel like all vacations are too short, you know? Like, if your vacation is too long, something is wrong. You need to relax more, do something different. But, yeah, I just even now can't believe that it's next week and can't believe that it's happening because this was, like, essentially a spur-of-the-moment decision. Or as spur-of-the-moment as you get in my world. So, because we booked it, like, about 2 months out. So, oh my goodness. We're wild over here. That orange looks too dark. Uh-oh. Well, I guess it is dark. Oh, I just went over the highlight. Weird that I went over it once and not the other time. Maybe this color. Whoa. This is one of my inky ones, and that was not a match. Are you a match? I'm going to just give up in a minute. Yeah, we're giving up. I can't find a match, so I'm just going to do a darker orange, because obviously it wants a lighter and a darker, so that's what we're going to give them. Oh, this is much too orange. But again, it's just her crown, so it matters a lot less. I'm sorry for the reach across. Oh, that must look terrible. We're going to get to see my bleed-proof white in action. I'm going to try to let this dry a little bit, but then I'm going to use the bleed-proof white to try to get that highlight back that I accidentally painted over. So let's avoid the 2 highlights on this one. And then color the rest of that in. I'm avoiding doing the skin until last. Ugh. What else do we got left? I'm peeking at the back again. I do this all the time. Like, I don't even bother trying to actually look. I just peek at the back. So I think just 7 and 8. Is there 3? Oh, inside of her mouth. Okay, so we have our Crayola Colors of the World markers. And it's a 24 set, but then it comes in like 3 little boxes. And there's 3 tones, I don't know. So there's 8 rose markers, 8 almond markers, and 8 golden markers. So that's how I separated mine. I'm pretty sure they were in here randomly, which is kind of weird. But it looks to me that 7 looks like deep rose. But then it's weird because the other ones don't really look like the other colors. So I'm going to try to see if 7 is deep rose. And then we will go from there. Because even just getting 1 or 2 colors from this set will help immensely. So which one of you markers are deep rose? It's got to be this one, right? Deep rose. I feel like that looks like deep rose to me. What is 1 shade up from deep rose? Medium deep rose. Is that you? Oh, that could work. I might just go for that. And then once 1 shade down. Extra deep rose. Let's see what that looks like. Is that you? Shoop, shoop, shoop. See, to me, that looks a little, I don't want to say too brown, because it is brown. Very deep rose. Aha, I went 2 shades up, that's why. I'm going to go for it. We're going for it. Okay, so 8 is our medium deep rose, which is most of her, I think. So what's nice about these is that they're similar to each other because they're like all their own set. So even if they don't match entirely, at least they will look good together. Does that make any sense? Oh, I hope so. There's a lot of like half of each color going on in here. And that's, I gotta focus for a second. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but after I film this, I already said it, but I'm still excited for it. I'm about to be filming those collection videos. I'm interested in seeing how I've done since last year and my coloring. I'm nervous. I also don't think I'm gonna show my completely finished books. I'll have to see how long the parts are. Basically, I've decided it's going to be 8 parts. So it might, no matter how long it is, it's going to be 8 parts. The Disney is going to be 2 parts. And we're just going to split it as evenly as we can. But I'm excited. I personally like the longer ones too, because I asked and most people were like, whatever you want, which I very much appreciate, but I still wanted to know. So, but I like the longer ones, but I don't like forever long. Like, I don't want to do it in 1 part. So hopefully 8 parts is a good compromise. I'm also hoping that you can't see my head in the entirety of the video, because I'm just like leaning over the desk. This is coming out better than I was expecting with the color match, I think. We're going to keep going and see what happens. What's nice about using the acrylic paint is that you can just go right over the edges and it won't bleed as long as you have waited for the paint to dry. The paint dries pretty quickly. I still try to do, like with all painting, go from the opposite top to right-handed bottom. So top left to right bottom, just to avoid rubbing my arms into the paint. And sometimes it works, and sometimes I still rub my arms into the paint, but it's not too bad. Uh-oh, I did it again! I get into it, and then I don't pay attention. So this is supposed to be the darker color. But again, that's another thing I do. I personally try to start in my lighter colors so that when I inevitably make mistakes like this, I can go over it with my darker color and save the day. Or sometimes you just don't really notice that much. What else? What's going on? in your lives. Yeah, so Sam and my dad are going to get dress pants because on the cruise there's a formal night. And Sam needs pants for that. Makes sense. Can't have no pants in the restaurant on formal night. So funny because we're packing, like, where we are right now, it's still been in the 60s, like low 60s, high 50s, which is a little bit cooler than normal. And the projections for where we're going is like 89, 90 degrees. And Sam is so scared that he's going to melt away because he's a very warm guy already. And I keep having to remind him that, like, we're not really spending much time outside. Like, you're just in the boat. The boat is kept very cool. And we might go, like, on the deck, but also the boat is moving, so it's nice and windy. And if you've ever been on a cruise, you know ocean air is nice and cool. So I expect he'll be cold more than he'll be hot. But we'll see. Yeah, that does mean me and Noodles are home alone. So hopefully she does not decide to bark her little brains out. Oh my gosh, did I get to tell you about our trauma? Now I don't know if I talked about it or not. The other day, I feel like I talked about it a little bit, so I apologize if this is a repeat conversation. But the other day, our smoke detector malfunctioned and essentially kicked the bucket, and it was a traumatizing day for Noodles. Actually, the two of us were awoken to smoke detector sounds, which was scary enough. We're both like, huh? And then it went off for the entirety of the day. So she was shaking like a leaf. I felt so guilty because she was absolutely terrified. So luckily, she seems better now. But it was a rough, like, legitimate 8 hours. We spent time, like, Noodles and I sat in the car. We were outside in the rain. And she hates the rain. But she would rather be in the rain than be listening to that alarm. So that says something about that alarm, I'd say. I was miserable. But that's also was the day after her 7th birthday. I definitely talked about some of this stuff. I'm so confused on what I've talked about because it feels all very familiar. But now I'm like, I don't remember. And, like, this always gets worse when I, like, pre-film a little bit. I'm not even pre-filming that much. Like, I'm filming for Wednesday, and this video is going up Friday. Like, that's not too much. Keep it together. But, yeah. Because I'm pre-filming, but I'm pre-filming, luckily, all of the collection videos. So I don't really tell you personal things during those, which is nice, so that I won't get too confused. So, but if I am repeating myself, I apologize. I do not mean to. I'm just so excited to tell you things that I just keep telling them to you. So I feel like as the color is going down, it's looking too dark. But then I also feel like all together, it's making sense. So I think we're doing good. What do you think? Is she looking like the Queen of Hearts still? It's all going to get pulled together when we pick our background color too. So this page is kind of thankfully taking longer than last month's Donald page. I was accidentally done in like 15 minutes. That's pretty crazy. But this one's going to probably hit our 30-minute mark, which is always our goal. Also, I found the skinny version of these markers, the Crayola Colors of the World, and I purchased them, and I don't know where they went. So that's weird. I have to look around to see if I like put them with the backup Crayola supplies. They're quite possibly on my cart somewhere. Things are a little crazy because I'm building a shelf, which I, again, think I talked about. And Until I get the new like storage things for inside the shelf, I have all of the furniture in this office still, but eventually I will be getting rid of a few furniture pieces, like the reason I'm replacing the shelf. But for now, it's all in here, baby. So I think all of the storage stuff is supposed to get here on the 6th. And again, I am filming on the 4th. So for a few days, we're just cramped. And I don't know where nothing is. But I'm excited for my shelf. I think it looks so pretty. I can't wait to show you all at the end of the month. So, all right. She's a very, this is like the inside of her mouth color, apparently. Yes. Sure. Maybe I think this color like gets cooler than the other two. Like the other two are warmer tones and that gets cooler. I don't know. And it looks like I was supposed to do the yellows for her earring. But again, luckily I've kept them out. So 5 is the lighter one. I'm going to attempt to not go over. Okay, now let's do our bleed proof white before we forget. So basically what this is calligraphy ink, and it's solid in there. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's solid and you're supposed to wet it. So what I do is I keep a water bottle, what are you called? Spray bottle on my desk, and I just spray in there a tiny bit, and now I've lost my brush now. And I have a teeny tiny brush. That is what I use, and I just kind of like mix up the top layer the tiniest little bit. It's probably still wet from last time because I capped it, so. And then you just paint right over wherever you want. Looks like I got a little. So this is really nice because that color won't bleed through. That's why it's called what it's called. Thank you very much, Danielle. Because I've had experience in the past where I like try to cover up mistakes with gel pen or whatever, and especially red, it will bleed through anyway and then just make everything look pink. But this is pretty solid and it won't bleed through. I might have watered it down a little too much. I don't know if you can, I'm sure you cannot tell, but there's too much water in there. So I might need to do a second coat because I've made it too thin. But otherwise, it's looking good. And in theory, like if I wanted to, should I try it? I'm going to try it. I'm going to cover all of the lines in her eye. And we'll see if that makes a difference. See, again, it's really watered down, so I'm nervous it's not going to do too much. I should have just kept it nice and thick. Yeah, it's not doing too much because I watered it down too much. But again, maybe I'll do a second coat. Can you tell a difference on camera? I can tell a difference in person, but again, too much water. So, but this thing's going to last forever because you use so little of it for this application at least. So there we go. Did that, and then I just wipe off the tip and try to keep it not very crunchy. I just keep that on my desk. All right, then we need a very light blue. I just have the lightest blue in here. And is the blue one? No, that's the green one. There's the very lightest blue and the very lightest green. And this is essentially just for like highlights / shadows kind of situation. So, ooh, it's a little bit darker than what I'm wanting, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll get the job done. And this is what we do around her eyeballs. And along, I don't want to like put my hand in all the new wet paints. So. And out here. Oh, I did it anyway. See, I can't stand myself. I don't want to put my hand in all the paint. Immediately puts hand in all the paint. Immediately. All right, it's time to think of our background color. What do we want to do? I'm thinking like a blue. Like probably like a teal blue. Let me see what this actually comes out as. I think I'm just going to go for it. I think it will be fun. And I unfortunately am flipping the book again because that's what I do to get the inside edges. So first we got down here and I'm just gonna, so like it's almost green, but it doesn't, to me, give off Christmas vibes. You'll have to let me know what color you would have done. Like, did I make a mistake? Also, I'm going too fast, especially around this cue that I spent all this time making, but that's okay. And then let me do, again, I just do nice stripes, or as nice as we can get. Sometimes with the curve of the book, it predetermines where my stripes are gonna go. Also, I think I'm a little too zoomed in, so hopefully you can see what's going on at least a little bit. But yeah, I just think this is brightening the picture up a whole bunch instead of that gray. Especially since, like, the gray had nothing to do. It's not like she, in the scene, she was standing by a gray wall or something. Like, it wasn't, didn't make sense. So it's okay to change it. Back this way. Woohoo! It's looking, I think it's looking good. And again, oh no. I'm about to have to put my hands all over that. All right. And all up in here. And again, now I don't have to go around everything. I just go right through it, which is so nice. Saves so much time. Let's do her whole. No, I like this decision. You let me know. Let me do inside the heart first. Ooh. See, running into the red. We're running into problems. That's why I just tend to like outline the objects as best I can. I am getting a little bit impatient because it's the end and this is just who I am when it comes to pages. At the end, I'm like, oh, I'm so close. I'm so close. Let's finish. Let's go. Wee-oo. Bam. I love it. So I'm going to, again, show you the back of the book. So they wanted us to have her in a gray background with a D. And instead, here's our beautiful queen. Yay! Let me know what you think. We've done it. Perfect. So, yes. This video should be coming at you Friday. On Sunday, I'm doing like a Mother's Day special in which I'm going to just tell you some stories about my mama. I thought that was appropriate. And then starting on next Tuesday will be our collection videos. So the first collection up is the Disney books. So stick around if you are into that. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Comment anything you want to comment down below, including our secret word, which is going to have to be heart. So either drop the word heart or maybe your favorite color of the heart emojis, anything like that. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm a fun time, and we got lots of good stuff coming this month. And I will see you again real soon. Bye, friends.